Reason 3 why the Xbox Series X is better than the PS5. Now, in reason 1, we talked about backwards compatibility. The ability to take a disc from an older generation game all the way back from the original OG Xbox to the Xbox One, play it and run it on your Series X. Now, that on its own is a great feature, but there's also another feature of the Xbox Series X which goes under the radar and isn't really talked about that much. And I want to change that. I'm talking about FPS boost and HDR boost. Now, what the Series X does is on a hardware level, it will take these older games and apply its power of the new hardware to it and push the frames per second as high as it can, all the way up to 120 frames per second. So you get to experience some of these older games with much deeper color palette, looking more beautiful than it ever has, but running on much higher frames per second, which allows you to play these games almost as a remaster, which you haven't had to pay for. This isn't a patch you need to pay in to get. This is simply you play the game, you launch it, and the system does it all for you. Now, Xbox didn't need to do this. They could have just thrown backwards compatibility at people, and they would have been happy. But the fact the Series X, as a gaming system, takes these older games and applies its power to it to breathe new life into its experience is something I feel people don't talk about enough, because it is really a great feature, one I've taken full advantage of. You launch Dragon Age Origins and it plays smooth as silk. It looks better than it ever has, and it just makes playing these older games much more doable. It makes them feel not as dated. And trust me, playing Fallout New Vegas at 60 FPS with HDR boosted performance makes all the difference in the damn world. And that is why the Series X is better than the PlayStation 5. Reason number 3.